decided who's going in what order, and so I bring you the beautiful Miss Tara.
I'm an ag named Tara P. Hello, everybody. Thank God for another day clean, for Narcotics Anonymous for that reason, and for all you being here. So grateful to have been asked and to be here to be of service to this program that has saved my life. And when they asked me, and I was looking through them and came across humility, and I said, well, I wasn't prepared, but I do study literature, and I do practice a program on a regular basis, so if asked to do service work, I feel comfortable in doing that, but I am very humbled by the fact that anybody asks me to do service work, to share what I have, because the disease will still tell me that I ain't shit, but I do understand today, because of the people in my life, having a sponsor and sponsees and a network of women and men, because I have learned how to have platonic relationships, that validate the fact that I've put a lot of hard work into my recovery, that I have learned something, and that I apply those things that I've learned on a regular basis. And on a regular basis, I mean every day. Not just here and there, but every day. And it's only with humility that I understand that, because in working the steps, I realized that I was putting work into it, but that I didn't get here because of me. I put a lot of work into active addiction, but I came to some realizations and had a spiritual awakening that enabled me to see the miracle that the God of my understanding kept me through a whole lot. I did nothing but try to destroy myself, my life, and those that were anywhere near me for years. And it's with humility that I understand God kept me through a whole lot because he had a purpose for me. And that it's with that purpose that I stand before you and share, that I share with sponsees, that I share in a meeting, that I do any of the things that I do for someone else in this process. I am truly humble every day. I am amazed that I'm alive because I reflect on the things that I did. And I know, without a doubt, that I did nothing but try to destroy myself. And if it wasn't for a power greater than me, that I wouldn't have the life I have today. I have my children back. I have a husband that I didn't want. I didn't. I have the kids that I so truly wanted and couldn't manage to hold on to in active addiction. I have a group of people that depend on me. I have a home group, and the fact that if I don't show up or if I don't let them know that I won't be there, someone calls me or texts me and what's going on? Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? And the fact that they depend on me is very humbling. I understand that I have not arrived. It doesn't matter that I've worked 12 steps. It does not matter that I've studied 12 traditions and 12 service concepts. It does not matter that I understand how to apply this in all areas, not just in a meeting, not just at a convention. I know how to apply this at work, when I come in contact with greater society. I understand that this all requires this program. This isn't what I do. This is what I've been taught. And if I didn't have any humility, I would take it on and say, look how good I am. Look how great I am, how much I can do. This is a we program. We do this. When I celebrate clean time, I thank the people in my network because I didn't get there without them. I didn't get there because Tara did something. I got there because I came here and people loved me. The God of my understanding brought me to a program for me. He understood what I would need. He understood who I would need, and he put them right in front of me. And so I'm very humble on a regular basis for that fact. I could not have finished working steps and learned how to be a better person, how to get rid of the things that did not serve me and the God of my understanding, if when I got to the 7th step, I couldn't say, I humbly ask. You know, it says we, but when I did my step work, I did my step work. And I had to be humble. I had to ask God to remove these defects of character. All the years I tried, white knuckle, it didn't work. I couldn't get rid of something that was ingrained in me that I had learned growing up. I needed help. And to be able to humbly ask is the only way it works. You know, when I think that, okay, I'm going to let you do this part, I get a whole lot of pain. A whole lot of pain when I think that, okay, I'm going to handle this part, you take care of this, you know. When I get out of that humility, I end up with a whole lot of pain. And it's something that I don't need pain as a motivation to change anymore. I can take the experience of other addicts and make a better choice the first time. Not a better choice the next time, but the first time. Because I believe in the people in this program that have been through what I've gone through and got through it without getting high. I believe that what they've done works for them and can work for me. There's humility in that, in knowing that I don't have all the answers, that my way is the only way. I'm so grateful to the God of my understanding to have given me a spiritual principle that allows me to listen to someone else, to understand that I don't have all the answers, and that I could be closed-minded enough to think that my way is the only way. That is something that I still struggle with when I see other people being quote-unquote NA Nazis. You know what? This is a program that is tailored to us addicts as individuals because everybody's process is different. Everybody changes in different ways. Thank God I don't think that, even with my sponsees, that I have to change this one, this one, this one, and this one all in the same manner. That their process is going to be the same one to the next or just like mine. Because we're individuals. And because this program, as long as we practice spiritual principles and follow some guidelines, can work for any of us and all of us in its own manner, in our own manner. And I'm humbled by that because that's so awesome. The fact that addicts come together. You know how many addicts are in this one place all at the same time not getting high? That's a humbling fact. When I go to conventions and I see them all gathered in one place, I remember dealing dope and thinking, if I could just get one more, if I get this one, you know, then that group's going to follow, and thinking how many people I could, you know, how much money I could make. And I look at a room of recovering addicts at a speaker and I think, wow, I never imagined. That's humbling for me. And I just really believe that it being a worldwide program offers that perspective to us as individuals in this process, that it helps dispel that lie about self-sufficiency and about, you know, the ego running things. You know, when I start to think about, you know, I'm doing this, I have to think about how many other addicts work together to do this, and that it goes not just in my area, not just in my state, not just in my country. Worldwide, addicts recover from this one program because we help each other, because addiction leveled the playing field. There aren't any economic features or racial features in here, race or gender or age. It's all because we're addicts, you know, and that we can help one another. I love this program so very much, and when someone asks me to help them or to be of service, it still amazes me. 8.5 years later, it still amazes me. because I understand I've done a lot of work, but I'm just an addict. One day at a time, I stay clean and I don't pick up. One day at a time, I deal with life on life's terms. One day at a time, I take care of my responsibilities so that I can be a productive member of society. And to think that I have anything to offer, you know, I pray before I share anytime. And I pray to the God of my understanding that, you know, I get up here and I tell you guys the truth about my experience, and that he carries his message that is a clear Narcotics Anonymous message, being that this is a God-given program. And that's all that I can ask, is to be of service to the God of my understanding, to reach someone, to let them know that there's a lot of peace that comes with humility. You know, in understanding that I'm not the one, that I have not arrived, takes a lot of responsibility off my shoulders. It means I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have all the answers. How awesome. Because I remember when I was out there, I always had to be right. Always had to have the best way. Always had to do, you couldn't handle that. I'll take care of it. Today, I'm going to let you do your part and I'll do mine. You know, because I'm not the only one. You know, and there's a lot of freedom in that. And there's a lot of peace in knowing this about myself. Thank God that he knew what I was going to need, and he, you know, gave him the idea to start this program for us. You know, thank God that he's put the people in my life that he has. You know, and I defer to them quite frequently. I don't have all the tools I need without them. You know, I have the tools of this program, and the biggest one of those tools is other people. Without humility, I become complacent. I start thinking that I don't need to go to meetings. I don't need to pick up the phone. Why should I study this step anymore? Do I really need to worry about those traditions? You know, I joke about it, but those things are very important in my life. And when I don't do them, I feel it. When my humility goes out the window, I am not a nice person to be around. My family gets real uncomfortable. My friends don't call. They know until I decide to humble myself one more time and ask that I've closed my mind again and that there's nothing that I can hear. You know, without humility, I have no sense of hearing. What you have to say, the message you have for me, the help you can give me is unavailable to me without my humility. You know, so I am very grateful for this program and for the people in it. I'm really glad to be here. I didn't think I was going to have to share, but that's what I have. That's my experience on it. And each and every day, I remain humble so that I can be here for the next addict coming in, because this is available to us all. If you've heard the message of Narcotics Anonymous, you never have to use again. Never. You know, I've heard people tell me, we can't all be as spiritual as you. Yes, you can. It's available. Anything that I can do, anybody else can do in this program, because I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Narcotics Anonymous gave this to me for me to give back to you. And I'll keep coming back.
Thank you very much. And then we have our second speaker. Our second speaker is Mark from the UP.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm an addict. My name's Mark. Pretty goddamn funny. I'm going to talk about humility. What, anybody know what that is, man? Because I could use some right now. Thank you, Camp Mac, for asking me to do this. Like Tara, I'm always grateful that somebody asked me to do something, that somebody thinks I got something, because I still, in my head, I ain't got shit, man. It's unusual to get asked to do something for good, because for a lot of my life I've been told, time for you to go, man. So this humility thing, my desperation, when I crawled into these rooms, I wasn't looking for humility. I wasn't looking for nothing but to just learn how to not get as high, how to not be in as much pain and have as many consequences as I was having. And I wasn't looking to do this staying clean thing. And I didn't know nothing about spiritual principles. And I didn't know nothing about character defects. And when I started looking at them, I mean, it took me a long time. That didn't happen the first 2 meetings or nothing. By the 3rd day, I had this shit all figured out, and I was going to tell y'all how to do it anyways. You know, it was pretty simple. But when I really broke it down and got back into the step work, and I think character defects are survival skills. Okay, I don't think we would be here. Well, I'm speaking for me. I'll throw that out there for you guys too. But I don't think we'd be here if we didn't have those character defects, because those survival skills took us through the hell that we lived through, and they got us into these rooms. And it is only through the rebuilding process. I don't see my girl in here, but this chick shared last night at that campfire meeting and just blew me away about her topic was happiness. And she's got 48 days. And she's been getting high for 22 years. And she don't know a fucking thing about happiness. And that shit gets me to this day. To remember. This is why I keep coming. This is why meetings still make sense to me. This is why steps and sponsors. Well, I finally got a sponsor. I thought I'd try something new. The old lady was tired of sponsoring me, man. So, and I was really tired of listening to her. So, these things make sense. The basic things in this program make sense. And when they stop making sense, you need to check yourself, man. And you don't just check yourself through one of us. Because if we love you enough to tell you, man, you're fucking up. You're fucking up. And we've heard the stories already around here of the people that have decided that one more it took them out, man. I don't want to entertain those notions. For me, I think to use, I believe the literature, to use is to die in more ways than one. And you know what? I don't want to go. My clean day is November 15th. I don't want to go to where I was November 13th. Okay? So I keep coming, man. You know, y'all told me keep coming. And I didn't listen to much, but I listened to that. And humility, look at, I love being the center of attention, except like when I'm up here talking to us, okay? Because, fuck no, I got to tell the truth, man. Truth is, I'm scared. I'm a dope fiend, man. I'm living in an unnatural state right now. And on any given day, at any given moment, I don't know what the fuck to do. So don't tell me just say no. Nancy Reagan. You know what, man? It ain't that easy for me. Because, see, I start thinking. I start thinking. And when I start thinking, I start putting justifications, rationalizations. I start, you know what, maybe it is time to relax. Maybe I have arrived. Okay? And when I'm arriving, at that point, I'm leaving my higher power, my spiritual awareness, whatever it is for you, but I'm putting my ego in there. And something they used to talk about a long time ago, ego was easing God out. And I don't like that God word, okay? I just don't like it, me, personally. I don't like it. A lot of people do. So but I know what they meant when the ego, because, see, that's me running the show. And I remember one time, I like stories, man. This is because I think we recover through stories. I really do. And I got a story, man. I got a story. I was riding a motorcycle one time, and it was raining. And it was just getting to rain. You could see the rain coming. And it was getting to be where the rain was definitely coming. And this guy was on the side of the road, and he was putting his rain gear on. And just up around the bend was a bridge, okay, which I knew because I knew the road. See, I got to watch them words. I know. Okay, so I knew there was this bridge there. So I'm going by this dude, and I'm laughing my ass off at him because he's out in this rain putting his stuff on. I pull up under the bridge because I'm a genius, you know. And I get under the bridge, I put all my little shit on, and I get back out on the road. Well, while I was putting my stuff on, he cruises by. So it's a brand other than the brand I'm riding, so, you know, right away I get the competitive thing going. Now it's pouring down rain, and I'm going to blow by this dude, man, because I got my rain gear on, and so I do, all right? So I get back on the road, I'm rolling, man. And I mean, the rain, it's like one of them sideways ones, you know, you really can't see very good. I'm hauling ass. Just as I pass him, my bike dies. Boom. I mean, dies. And so now I'm like, well, I got to pull over to the side of the road, but he's got to go by me, okay? So he went by me. I pulled off. I'm on the side of the road. That's what happens to me. It says if we don't get humble, we are humiliated. And it ended up, I had to hitchhike, man. I left the bike on the side of the road. I was probably 100 miles from home. But see, my higher power, my spiritual force, whatever, threw a bone back to me because a dude that I was doing business with down south of where I was driving home also, and he saw me on the side of the road hitchhiking. And it freaked him out that I was on the side of the road hitchhiking, so he picked me up and took me all the way home, man. So that worked out kind of good. But I say that just because, see, this is what happens when I think. When I think I'm better than you, when I think I'm slicker than you, when I think I can get down on you, I'm not living the way you have taught me to live. And that's not a good thing. So humility for me, the basic text talks about it. I'm not making this shit up. Humility is a byproduct of the way we're learning to live. And the way we're learning to live, if we're practicing spiritual principles, is we're getting this awareness, we're surrendering, and through that we're growing. And the humility becomes a byproduct of all that. I truly, you know, this gets hard for me to do at times, and other times it don't. But I mean, sharing successes in the rooms. You know, some people say, well, that egotistical bastard, he's just sharing the successful shit. I mean, that's what my head says people are saying. I don't know if they're saying that or not. But I think it's important to share successful things so that people know that maybe they can get successful too. And I'm not talking about, look at, if you're sitting here and you didn't get high today, there's the best success you got already. If you're starting to change, just before we get to that first step, it talks about that. If I'm not, every day is a successful day, clean, but I'm starting to make some changes in my life. Okay, so the successful things I'm talking about is like society's measurement of successes, which, society has not looked well upon a lot of us. We don't roll with the society things, and it's amazing when you sit around the tables and you come to the rooms and you hear the success stories, that those of us that have come from the streets, all of a sudden we're successful people in society's eyes. But you still need to keep coming here, and that's where I get screwed up. See, I get these good ideas, man. Remember Buckwheat on the Little Rascals, man? I got a good idea. He always had some good ideas, and it always didn't go out well, man. And that's what happens to me. I get good ideas. They don't turn out well because my good ideas usually aren't in harmony with spiritual principles, okay? I get good ideas that, man, I've been working a lot. I'm tired. I don't need to go to a meeting. This dude's on my answering machine. You know what, man? I'm tired. I don't want to call his ass. I'll call him later. And we all go through that shit. But you know what? Keep coming. Come back. Stay with the basics. The basics cannot fail. The basics are what started us in 1953 and keep us going today. And we grow with love, man. That's what they call us, convention. And those, if you've been coming here for a while, we've grown. We've lost people, but we still keep coming, man. There's this feeling of love that, I heard folks talk about it. Those of us that have this self-loathing and this self-hatred, to get to that place of love is such an unusual thing for us. And then to start sharing that with others, to as Bob said, to grow up in public, man. I don't want to do that shit. See, I just want to do a drive-by, tell y'all everything's cool, I'll catch you later, man. I'm straight. I got it. And that's when the humility is going out the window. Whenever I say I got this, please tell me, oh, do you? No, not you, Debbie. You don't got to tell me. Okay. But it's good. This thing here will allow me to go to people when my ass has fallen off. And that's what has happened to me in the past. It happens to me, a week ago. My ass has fallen off and I don't know what to do, but I got a phone number and somebody picks up and says, man, what's up? And I might have to talk. That's why you can't do it in meetings. Up in the UP, my home group, Second Chances, we don't put no timers out on the meeting. We're so fucking glad to see somebody come in, But a lot of places I go downstate, I'm downstate, I'm talking Michigan talk, but I go down to Lansing and stuff, they're putting timers on the tables and shit, because they got to, because the meetings are so big. But I told them one time, they said, well, we're going to put a timer. I said, how long? They said, well, 5 minutes. I ain't done lying for 3. Come on, man. I'm gonna tell you how fucking great I am and how great it's going. I'm not gonna get to the truth, man. For a while. It takes me a while. I gotta talk, man. I gotta talk, and then I'll get to the truth. So this is why, I don't know where I was. Oh yeah, back to calling somebody and they picked up. This is why we do this, man. And you get more than one phone, but I'm just going to say, it ain't written in the book, so don't bust my balls on it. But God damn it, don't go getting 2-3 sponsors, okay? Because I know you might not be like this where you're going to manipulate and tell this one, and oh, this one here's married, so that one must know how to get into a relationship. Bullshit. One sponsor, okay? One fucking, my bad. One sponsor, man. One sponsor. One home group. One home group. Get a home group. Support it. Without home groups, we die. When home groups die, we die, man. Somebody was going to that meeting. Somebody, and I know we got computers and them little phones I see y'all playing with and shit, But look it, man, there's a lot of printed meeting lists out there, okay? That it used to be that they said if you printed a meeting list that was out there for 10 years, So don't let, the home groups die, they die. And when somebody goes to a home group and it's not open, God damn, man, I got a good idea now. Pookie and Bobo are just right around the corner, man. I bet their fucking door's open. Ooh, God, there I go. Yeah. See, I must be getting comfortable with y'all. So, I don't know, man. This humility, it's a spiritual principle. And one of the things that not constant, but I did lose a lot of brain cells. But one of the things I need to be reminded of, that this program is a program of progress, okay? And humility is a spiritual principle. And if you look at them spiritual principles, see, I think that if I'm not applying all those spiritual principles 24 hours a day, that I'm doing something wrong, okay? That's what I think. And we need to remind each other that this is a progressive program, okay? And just as we got no problem when we sit there and identify the progression of the disease. Man, we can break out all these, what do they call, Jellinek charts and shit. All them suits got names for them, man. And you can, do timelines and, look, man, I was just smoking weed and blah, 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 and now I'm a dope fiend, man. But we never talk about the goddamn progression of recovery, okay? Recovery, how can I get high for 22 years and all of a sudden in 6 months I want what somebody's got that I think has got a lot and they got time in, It don't work like that. The recovery progresses just like the disease does, man. Now, when I'm see, here's the good thing about this is the dope fiend talking. The good thing about the disease is when I'm doing something wrong, I just get high and forget about it, Recovery, now if I start thinking that I'm not doing something right, I start beating myself up. I start getting into all this bullshit. And I think that I'm not worthy. I'm not recovering. I'm not doing this right. Get back to the basics, man. Don't put no dope on it. Don't use no matter what. Fine. The humility will come. It will go. Happiness will come. It will go. Pain will come. It will go. It does. It does. It happens here. There's miracles here. I see him sitting here. Fuck, I'm one, okay? I'm a miracle. Is that egotistical? No, man, it's just a statement. Where I was November 13th and November 14th, I never thought I'd be here in May talking in a place like this. People are listening. I don't know if they're fucking paying attention, but they ain't run me off yet. So, I don't know. Humility is a tough one to talk about because anytime, how do you get to say, yeah, I'm humble? What? Ain't you some egotistical bastard to say you're humble? If I got to tell you how humble I am, maybe I ain't. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's a byproduct of acceptance and surrender. And I think for me, the humility comes when I can say to you, I don't know, but let's try this. So if you're new here, keep coming. Don't use. I love you. Thanks.
Okay, the floor is open for sharing if anybody has any after comments. Huh? Right on, right on. Well, somebody wants to share. Are they all leaving? Well, if everybody wants to go eat lunch, we could always have a big hug circle and. Okay.
I love the blue and the red and the blue and the black and the yellow. Yeah, that was
Mark from the UP, take us out.
Can we have a moment of silence for those in the circle and those out of the circle still suffering? Follow that by gratitude story. Our gratitude speaks when we care, when we share with others in any way. Keep coming back for words.
Was it?
Words of
I was hearing you.
Maybe
it wasn't me.
Hug everyone!
Thank you so much.
Okay, Heather, I'll come down to your level. I always like to accommodate those that are vertically challenged. Well, when you fall, it's not a big thud. When us tallies fall, it's a oh my god. Oh my god, they're winning another broad falling on her ass.
Is it? Awesome. I used to live over there when I was younger. I was lying. I'm lying.
Lot younger, lot bigger. fucking dizzy.